Hello, second grade, and welcome to class today. Did you carve a pumpkin for Halloween? Do you like pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving? Well, today we're going to talk about the pumpkin life cycle and actually do a Google drawing of the pumpkin life cycle. So let's go ahead and get started.
What is a pumpkin? A pumpkin is a fruit. It grows on a vine, like other kinds of squash. Pumpkins can be bumpy or smooth, large or small, long or round. They can be orange, white, yellow, or red. Each year there is a new crop of pumpkins. Their hard shells have deep lines that go from top to bottom. Seed. Spring. Pumpkins begin as seeds. The seeds are white and have an oval shape. A tiny plant is curled up inside each seed. The seed is planted in warm, moist soil. In about 10 days, a root grows down into the soil. The root takes in water and food for the plant. Tiny leaves push up into the sunlight. Seedling. Late spring. The first 2 leaves pop through the soil. These are smooth seed leaves. They use sunlight and air to make food for the new plant. Then the true leaves appear. They are jagged and prickly. The job of the seed leaves is done. They wither and fall off. Vine. Early summer. The pumpkin plant grows more leaves. The plant grows quickly and soon becomes a vine. The vine twists and creeps along the ground. The vine sends out thin tendrils. They grab and curl around other vines. They twist around fences. The tendrils support the vine as it grows longer and longer. Flower. Early summer. The pumpkin vine blooms with many yellow flowers. Some of these are female flowers. Female flowers sit on small, fuzzy green balls. Other flowers are male flowers. They are on long stems and have yellow powder inside the flower. The yellow powder is pollen. It takes a male and a female flower to make a pumpkin. Pollination. It also takes bees to make pumpkins. They move the pollen from male flowers to female flowers. When a bee visits the male flowers, the pollen sticks to the bee's body and legs. The pollen rubs off the bee as it goes in and out of the flowers. When the pollen reaches a female flower, the fuzzy green ball at the end of the flower begins to grow into a pumpkin. Growing and ripening. Late summer. All summer, the vines, tendrils, and leaves of the plant grow and tangle together. Underneath the big leaves are little pumpkins. The leaves are like big umbrellas. They keep the hot sun off the pumpkins. They also help to keep the soil around the pumpkins from drying out. Problems for pumpkins. Growing pumpkins need just the right amount of water and sun. Too much rain rots the pumpkins. Too much sun withers the vines. Cucumber beetles and squash bugs can hurt pumpkins too. Farmers spray the plant with insecticides or cover the vines with nets to protect the growing pumpkins. Harvest. Fall. The pumpkins grow bigger and bigger. Inside, the pumpkins form seeds and pulp. Outside, the pumpkins turn from green to orange. Then the vines turn brown. Harvest time has come. The farmer cuts the thick pumpkin stem from the vine. After the harvest. Late fall. 4 months ago, there were only seeds. Now the farmer has harvested a wagon full of round orange pumpkins. They will be sold at farm stands and stores. People cook pumpkins and use the pulp to make pumpkin pie, cookies, soup, and bread. Some pumpkins are fed to farm animals. Festivals. Some towns hold a pumpkin festival to celebrate the fall harvest. Sometimes there is a contest to find out who grew the biggest pumpkin. Inside the pumpkin are many seeds. Some seeds are roasted to be eaten as a snack. Other seeds are saved to be planted in the spring. They will grow into next year's pumpkins. Next year's crop. After the pumpkins are picked and sold, the farmer plows the field. Old vines and unpicked pumpkins get mixed with the soil. The field is ready for planting seeds again next spring.
Now that you know the life cycle of a pumpkin, we're going to draw it here in this Google drawing. We're going to draw a seed, then a sprout, then a plant. We're going to draw the pumpkin's flower. We'll draw a green pumpkin and also an orange pumpkin. Let's start with the seed. Let's go up to the shapes. Under shapes, I'm going to look for a shape that looks like a seed. Can you find one? This one looks like a seed. It's called the teardrop. I'm going to click it. I'm going to click and hold and drag. Now the pumpkin seed is not blue, so I'm going to change the color. I'm going to go to the paint bucket and choose tan. Let's go ahead and make another seed. Shapes, teardrop, click and hold and drag. One more. Shapes, teardrop, click and hold and drag. Now we're ready to draw the sprout. The first thing I want to do is draw a straight line for the ground. I'm going to go to the line tool. This is the line tool. I'm going to click it. I'm going to click and hold and drag a straight line going across my page. Then I'm going to let up. I'm going to make this line thicker by going to the line width button. That line width button looks like this. It's called line width. I'm going to click it. I'm going to make it an 8-point line. I want to change the color of the line from black to green. I'm going to go to the pencil. This is the line color. I'm going to click it. I'm going to change it to green. Now I want to make a sprout. I'm going to go back to the line tool again. I'm going to click it. Now I'm going to click and hold a vertical line, going straight down. Click and hold and drag down. Now I want to make some small leaves on this sprout. Let's go to the Shapes tool. Let's find a leaf shape. I could use the teardrop again. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click and hold and drag. I want to make this color green. Go to the paint bucket. Choose green. Now I want another one for the other side of the sprout. Go to the Shapes button. Choose the teardrop. Click and hold and drag. Uh-oh, you can see that the leaf is backwards. I need to change it. I'm going to click on it. Notice the round circle at the top. This is going to rotate the leaf. I'm going to click on it and hold and then drag around. Notice how I am turning it. Whenever I'm done, I'm going to let up. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. Let's move it a little bit closer. Let's click on it. Did you know that you can move it with your arrow tools? Your arrows on your keyboard will move the shape as long as it's selected. Let's move it down and over. Let's take a look at that. Nice. Let's go over to the plant again. I'm going to draw another horizontal line. I'm going to go to my line tool. Click and hold and drag across for the ground. Let's make it thicker by going to the line width, and let's make it 8 point. Let's make this ground brown. Let's go to the crayon. Find brown. Now I'm going to make another vertical line. Let's go to the line tool, click on it, click and hold and drag to go down. Let's change the size of this line as well. Line width, 8 point. Let's make it green. Remember, that's the crayon. Green. Let's find a shape that we can use for the leaves. Let's go to shapes. Notice there are other things that we can create besides the shapes. Arrows, callouts, and equations. Let's go to callouts. We know that the plant leaves have very prickly leaves. So let's go ahead and use one of these shapes. I'll use the 10-point star. Click on it, click and hold and drag. Change the color to dark green. Use the paint bucket. Let's make another one. Remember, shapes. We went to callouts and we used the 10-point star. Click and hold and drag. Let's make one more. Shapes, callouts, 10-point star. Click and hold and drag. Let's go down to make our flower. We know that the flowers are yellow or orange. Let's go to shapes. Let's go to the bottom of the shapes and choose this one. Let's click it. Click and hold and drag. Let's change the color to orange. That's the paint bucket. Choose orange. Let's make another flower. Go to shapes. I use this one at the bottom, but if you can find another flower to use, go ahead and use it. Click it. Click and hold and drag. Now let's make our green pumpkin. Let's go to shapes. Let's go to the oval tool. Click and hold and drag. I don't want an orange pumpkin here. It should be green. Let's go to change its color to the paint bucket. Let's choose green. Let's go ahead and put a stem on our green pumpkin. Let's go to shapes and let's use a rectangle. Click and hold and drag a rectangle at the top. Let's make it brown. Go to the paint bucket. Choose brown. Let's go ahead and put some tangles on there as well. That is under the triangle next to the line tool. We can use the scribble again. Remember, this scribble uses just like a pencil in our hand. We can click and hold and drag. Let's make one more shape for our life cycle of a pumpkin. Let's make the orange pumpkin. Go to shapes. Go to oval. Click and hold and drag a large orange pumpkin. Go to the paint bucket to make it orange. Let's put a stem. Go to shapes. Rectangle. Click and hold and drag to put a stem. Let's make the stem brown. We can dress up our pumpkins by putting lines on them. Again, using the scribble tool. If you can't find it, use the down triangle. Go to scribble. We can draw in some lines on our pumpkins. Looks good to me. Over the next couple weeks, we'll be drawing our picture of the life cycle of a pumpkin. Follow along and make your seed, sprout, plant, flower, green pumpkin, and finally, orange pumpkin. If you have any questions, raise your hand. Otherwise, go ahead and start your drawing. Good luck!